on the right to adequate housing, and so on and so forth, to do the needful. Then the likes of Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and others are also called to intervene by way of investigation and the presentation of their report on Imo State, killings in Imo. Then finally, others are legal framework. If you go through the list, you see the legal framework, guiding the operations. We have operations of security forces and the other non-state actors in Imo State. And from there you can see the statistics, supporting statistics, the names of the victims of disappearances, names of victims of arbitrary arrest, names of the victims of torture, and names of the victims of open killings. They're all here. Then the special investigation we conducted in Osun local government area and the local government area of Imo State about the civilian house burning or domicide in Imo. You can see the video here. The video we gathered at the end of it all. You will also see the link to the special documentary regarding that special investigation. It's here included in this report. Then finally, the impunity, the aspect that has to do with impunity, hardening the perpetrators in Imo is also here. Then finally, the key perpetrators, those who are involved in the Imo mass murders, abductions, disappearances, house burnings, and other arbitrary arrests and detention, and other internationally prohibited acts. That is the content in the last page, being page 33. The perpetrators, those involved in Imo. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I think we'll take a few comments and questions. What do you have?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Dr. Ebubeagu. I work with Punch. My question is, one, I have to commend Inter Society for work well. At least they still remain the only voice in the Southeast by doing their best to bring out conduct and processes of the security agencies. That's what I want to ask in the society, whether they are officially petitioned with this evidence presented to us today to international court. Because I know that there is a procedure. It's not just falling here for them to do their satellite in the state. Whether this document you have forwarded it to them officially, and whether they have acknowledged it. That is one. Secondly, I know that Inter Society they have some partners like other international agencies. Whether they have, or you already given the families of those that have fallen victim of this crime, whether they can approach Nigerian courts, whether they will give justice is a different get of issue, whether they have initiated, because I know that my office, we did some investigation in Imo State, which lies, and I know that society also contributed in that report. And the Nigerian security agencies, they have not disputed it up to date. And that investigation still stands. Our report still stands. The killings in Imo State. And since it is like that, that report still exists. I've not heard from any Igbo elite, either Obinze, either Uzodinma, or whatever, come out to condemn or demand justice for those people they killed. I've not heard from them. Even the Imo State millionaires and billionaires, we have not heard from them to come out to say this is a report one of the best newspapers in Nigeria conducted, and nobody, not even military police, have denied the report. Okay. And nobody has questioned that report from the southeast here. It's not what we are doing. It's not important. Continue with this. Thank you.
It's okay. Let me come. You will ask. Okay. You will ask. Let me answer. One, it's not. We don't do things. It's not an effort in futility. You know why we do this? We do this because we know the law. And we know the law because we are knowledgeable. It's not a boast. So, we never engage in any effort that is rested in futility. And let me tell you about crime, perpetration of crime. It has no expiring date. The only thing that will make a crime to expire is when that crime is not investigated, documented, and archived. Once it is investigated, documented, and archived, it has no expiring date. I remember the former president of Chad, Issa Hebrew, 20, 30 years after he stepped down, or he was ousted as the president of Chad, he was arrested and tried by AU-UN joint tribunal, sitting in the capital of Senegal, and from there he was sentenced to life imprisonment, and he is presently serving a life imprisonment. The only thing that will make the whole thing injurious is when that crime is perpetrated and it is not investigated and documented. Court is not an entertainment arena, so our effort will never be in futility. Then about we can't do all. Nobody knows it all. Nobody does it all. What we do, the greatest task is what we are performing or what we have performed. And that greatest task is to put this thing together. It is believed that once this database is out, then it can be taken to the next critical stage by other stakeholders. Because by unveiling this particular report, it has become a document, an international document. As for moving forward, yes, it's a process. This thing is just started. It's a process. And owing to the fact that it's a process, it's going to be taken to many quarters. The ICC are talking about the UN rapporteurs, like we mentioned here, and all that thing. But first of all, let us unveil the report first. Then again, another question, you ask another question about the issue of litigation, whether retributive justice or compensatory justice and what have you. It still boils down to my point. Now let us get this document out first. When they come, okay, somebody said, when the comes to the come, we do what? We become. So when it is time for, everything has time. You look at the government that is expiring in Nigeria. You look at the consequences, atrocities, and what have you they have committed. And look at the fears inflicted on the polity and what have you, the public and what have you. So we will put all these things together. But what we have done is to courageously put this thing out. So it's a global document, so it's not going to expire. Then I forgot to say something that is very important. I'm sure I didn't mention it because I know if I mentioned, I'm mentioning it now. Some of you will ask a question regarding what happened in Anambra State a few days ago. That is an example, a clear case of that is failed intelligence, false labeling. People, members of U.S. I'm a fellow of the United States Department of State, class of 2023, 2013. So, but you know me, I can't say when is. I can't say it is was. I don't do that. So, talking about what happened in Anambra State, media have been reporting all sorts of versions. Government of Anambra State saying somebody drew my attention, government saying those people went to assess a erosion site and blah blah blah. And I keep wondering, where in Owerri has Owerri been listed as a major erosion site in Anambra State? When you talk of erosion site or erosion menace, you talk of the hinterland in Anambra State, where there are those communities, Obosi, Oko, Umunze, and what have you. So Owerri is a riverine area. All those ones. So, but I must tell you something. I don't know what happened. I don't want to know what happened. But what I know is that the security forces, security agencies and government must be able to feed people, feed the public with the correct information. The consulate, as I know, the US consulate, as I know, has restricted movement. If they want to visit, they have met with us, with me in particular, 7 times in 5 years. So if they want to come, it's either they want to meet with the civil society, leading civil society in Anambra State, for instance, likewise in Enugu State, or they want to meet with Obi. He's a very prominent and respected traditional leader, or they want to meet with Commissioner of Police or Governor of the state. I don't know what led to that kind of trip in Owerri. What happened? What is in Owerri? US consulate or embassy officials? Are they UNICEF or are they what are those humanitarian agencies? Are they? I don't know. So what happened? But I want to ask a question. I want to throw this question. I will not. Let me put it in form of question. Is it not correct to say that there are numerous private armies presently existing in Owerri? Is it not correct to say that those private armies exist in Owerri because there is an industrial scale illegal oil mining in Owerri? Is it not correct to say that at the scene of that mining, you have more than 150 soldiers guarding that place? Is it not correct to say that though that mining was being mined from the backyard of Anambra State through Imo Anambra rivers, what do you call it? River boundary, what have you, and Anambra Imo, terrestrial, and the river boundary. So, what happened? So, why the 150 soldiers, if it is correct? Is it normal? If the mining is legal, why the 150 soldiers? Is Anambra State aware of that mining? Who and who is mining, is behind the mining, the illegal mining, so to say? And is it not possible that the use of the community having felt, threatened with, militarism and militancy, now decided to react militarily or militantly? These are the things. And is it correct to say, that in Anambra State, between Anambra, that is Oka, the capital city, and Ajali, that a high-profile kidnapping is going on there? Is it correct to say that in that part of Anambra, the private army or armies there have grown to sophistry to the extent of acquiring flying boats? Is it correct to say that, or is it not correct into the flying boat and flown to the River Niger Creek under the watchful eyes of Nigerian Naval base in Owerri? Is it correct to say that the victims, after, paying the ransom, are returned alive and what have you? And is it correct to say that the present government of Anambra State has, some functionaries that are likely in the know of what is happening in Anambra State? Is it not correct to say, to ask the government of Anambra State that its top functionaries to search themselves? Because when a police officer comes to your house to search your house, what will you do, a lawyer? You will say, you have the right to say, let me search you. Is it correct? Then after searching him, then he can now go and search. In case he comes with incriminating evidence. I ask a question. Don't not say I say. I ask questions. Thank you.
Your sympathy for my cop was very for it because whether anyone accepts or not, they are our brothers. And as far as they are not armed, nobody has the right to shoot at them. From all that we have brought up, to hearing you talk about such division or name those people who are responsible for the attacks in Imo on the side of the non-state actors. But you simply lumped them up as a non-state actors.
You are correct. Leveling. And from there, and once that leveling is made, they can even destroy your house. They can trace your house in Abakaliki and mess it up. And that is what we are trying to prevent. And we are very mindful of the law. We are very, very mindful of the law. We have no sympathy. We have no apology for being knowledgeable about the law, procedures and proceedings, and processes. And that's the point we are trying to make. Trying to say we have sympathy for IPOB means joining the same security agencies in class criminalization. That is another way of class criminalizing me. It's not true. I don't care if I'm sure you know me very well. We have worked extensively, and I don't give a damn. When there was an election in Anambra State, and those chaps came up and said no election, I say it's not true. It cannot be. If you Google your internet, you will see how they say they want me to retract a statement 3 years ago, otherwise they will do this or do that. That is inter-society for you. Including others. I don't spare. Having said that. But I cannot allow you as a security official to lay your hands on somebody who is unarmed. The law is that if somebody is IPOB member, the law is very simple. He is unarmed at the point of meeting him. If you have reasonable suspicion of the person committing a crime, he's unarmed. Grab him unarmed. That's the law. The law is very simple. Grab an unarmed. If it is a theory. Grab an unarmed what? Unarmed. Grab on. You get? Then grab, neutralize the person. Neutralize the person. Armed. If he is actually armed. And if for weapon he uses. The security is using to go after the person. We are here for war. And the law is very simple and straightforward. Then that one is okay. Then coming to your second question, yes, we have 8. Yeah, that's it. Let me quickly run it. Let me familiar this. We have 8 unarmed.
What page, please?
No, that should be. They didn't number this page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It should be in page 11 or thereabout. Imo State. Imo is home to January 2021. Have you seen it? Then in January, Imo is home to 8 non-state actor entities, out of which 7 led the way in ongoing terrorization of defenseless citizens and their properties in the state. It has also been investigated and found watch and protection of the drafted security forces and government of Imo State. Names of the 8 non-armed non-state actor entities in the state are: 1. Government unknown gunmen, including political killer allied with the Ebubeagu Militias, then an armed counterfeit agitators. 2. Unknown gunmen, including armed political opposition reprisal groups. 3. Ebubeagu Militias. 4. Jihadist Fulani herdsmen. You know how they terrorize Okibo and what have you. And the Southeast Triangle. That's Unar or something like that. Then 5. Eastern Security Network, DSS. 6. Counterfeit Biafra agitators. 7. Private armies, rising from violent private individuals counterfeiting the Biafra agitation. And 8. Violent street criminal entities. For instance, armed robbers, kidnappers for ransom, illegal oil and solid mineral mining syndicate, etc. Government unknown gunmen also involved in electioneering insecurity and other unsafe conditions, and running recruiters kidnapped for ransom cartels for government machineries. Example is Imo State. Whenever it is time for governorship election, you will pick up arms, shooting here and there, killing and what have you. So the people, the masterminds, we know them. They are the people that do not want the people's vote to count. Our friend governor of Anambra State won his presidency with how many thousand? 120,000. Am I wrong? 120,000 votes in a state that has 2.7 million registered voters with 2.4 million PVC holders. 120,000. Yeah. So when is Anambra election? 2025. You are a journalist. You have diaries. Write it that I say it today. 2025, I think so. Is it 2025? It's Anambra election. Next year is we are in 2023. Next year is 2024. Towards the time minute of 2024, watch out what will happen. They will be armed again, shooting, scaring people away, blah 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 blah. And security forces with their failed what have you will now join them and creating insecurity instead of. I mean, you have to, if you are friends, if you have top security officers as your friends, especially members of the police organization, Nigerian Police Force and DSS, tell them that I said that they should go back to the drawing board. They are the reason for all this problem. They don't have intelligence. There's something in criminology we call intelligence policing. Criminal investigation policing. And that criminal investigation and they are powered by what we call man-mental machine, machine tools. Man-mental skill, tools. They don't have, they are medicine after death. After a crime has been committed, they are taking place, they will come there and start cleaning innocent people and start parading them. And yet, the same crime, because they are not smart, the people, the right people. So, make allow me to rest. There is a handover coming up. Thank you. Okay, sorry.
I want to very comprehensive report. Sometimes I don't feel too confident when you address us. This issue of counterfeit Biafra status, you always mention. the original actor did not commit any offense. They did not bear arms, they did not, in short, they are holy. That's number one. Secondly, Imo State, for just as a case study, I quite agree with you, is a terrible place. I'm from Imo State, from Oluku side. So I can tell you usually what's happening outside in that area. But again, our neighboring state here, everyone. Do you have any intention to also carry out similar because just a leading person did address the person of the Enugu when he told us that as far as he's concerned, that everybody is the worst when it comes to issue of crime and all the killings and body. I don't know. Do you are you comfortable with what's happening there? I cannot say that what is happening in Enugu, but are you comfortable with what's happening there?
Thank you. Thank you. First question is your first question is the issue of counterfeit. No. If you go through the listing, I believe you will take time to go through the report. Everything is explained there. We call spade a spade. The ESN was formed in December 2020. There is nothing that is happening in the Southeast that we are not aware of. After that, they started with anger on security forces for killing defenseless youth and their members during the time they were unarmed. You know that. Then now that anger extended to a strong suspicion that they were behind all this property attack, that is facility out of facilities. And it reached the crescendo in the Southeast. We have a database. It's only the one we want to develop. We got to develop. Your friend in River State is jumping up and down, dancing. That is every man behind have any state. But when the time comes, we have a database for him. So we have database for every state. So talking now is Imo State speaking. The facts we have on the ground, you can't compare what is happening in I don't know, I've said it here before, that the government of Nigeria is running a multi-billion naira